Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the entire staircase. Martin Luther King Jr. Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius. So, yes, Martin Luther King Jr. was Mercury in Aquarius, and 11 degrees at that, which is fascinating. If you're familiar with numerology, 11 degrees is one of the two master numbers. But that is a side point. Maybe it's not such a side point. Funnily enough, also, in the zodiacal wheel, Aquarius is the 11th sign, and the number 11 is very often associated with Aquarius for that reason, for other reasons. Yeah. So, let's get into it. What is Mercury in Aquarius? What does that mean? Well, in relation to that quote, faith is taking the first step without seeing the full staircase. I really see that as representing the Aquarian vision. You know, your Mercury represents how you think, how you talk, expression and communication in general. Not just coming out, but also going in. You know, ears, brain, all that. And Mercury in Aquarius, man, that is the placement for vision, the placement for understanding on a huge, broad scale, the most universal scale. Having Mercury in Aquarius means that you really, truly are capable of envisioning grand plans, grand ideas, grand anything. And as well as making those ideals and ideas a reality. And so, it's not just a sense of vision, but it's also a sense of drive with Mercury in Aquarius. Which really makes sense, you know, if you think about what planets are involved here. So we got, naturally, Mercury, of course. Being in Aquarius, Aquarius is ruled by two planets, Saturn, not flipping you off, Saturn and Uranus. And both obviously impact this energy, this placement, you know. So, like I was saying, the creative genius, the vision, the ability to see and understand to just absolutely infinite level, and all within your head, you know, not having to see it physically, or not having to dream it up, water-wise, or, you know, inspiration, fire, or anything. It's just a very natural thing. I actually have this energy as well. My Mercury's in the house of Aquarius. Both my mom and my dad have Mercury and Aquarius energies. Total digression. But for me, I guess it's not such a digression. For me, growing up with this energy and growing up around it, granted, my Mercury is in the house of Aquarius, it's not in Aquarius itself, but I still find, in my personal experience and whatnot, that there are more similarities than not. Of course, the house system can, you know, has its own particularities and junk, but, side note, long story short, I'm with you, my Mercury and Aquarius, brother, sister, both, neither, whatever. So, I'll just say it outright. Mercury in Aquarius is a very great energy. You know, each placement can have some very challenging energies. For example, Mercury in Pisces is said to be a challenging energy. Now, does Mercury in Pisces have things to offer and things to communicate and thoughts that no one else can? And even an energy that is supposed to be really good, you know, can Mercury in Pisces offer something completely great? Yeah, absolutely, you know. But as for how the energies flow with this planet, Mercury is said to be exalted, which in Aquarius, in astrology, is a very beneficial, positive energy. You know, it means it's functioning really well. Whatever the planet is that's exalted, it means it's functioning really well. And each placement, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, etc., are exalted under certain energies. And again, don't necessarily function really well under certain energies. So, if you have Mercury in Aquarius, that means that Mercury is working with you in this lifetime. And that you guys are like this, son. You know, Mercury in Aquarius is just a traditionally functioning well of the energy of Mercury. So what is Mercury? Mercury, like I was saying, is communicative realm, communication, thoughts. Um, you can capture Mercury in a couple words, but Mercury really truly is such a huge influence on our lives, especially when it's functioning really well or not so well. But for everyone, it's an incredibly important part, you know. So in any case, Mercury in Aquarius, again, functioning really well and according to what Mercury stands for. So that means that you guys are very this energy is very clear thinking. You know, it's able to put aside emotional considerations when thinking and having ideas. It's able to put aside, you know, childish notions, illogical notions. Air can be very childish in the sense that we think anything is possible because we realize that anything is possible. um, but still, air is logical, you know, and so air can seem kind of out there with all their crazy ideas and stuff. But at the end of the day, air signs, and especially air sign Mercury people like you, like me, can do that. They can separate their mind from what else is going on. Now, we're all human. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's one way forever or anything. So it doesn't mean that with Mercury and Aquarius energies that you're always right, or it doesn't mean that you then have to, or rather, you have the authority over everyone else, and especially people who, you know, Mercury doesn't function well. So don't go down that road, you know. But it should be said that Mercury does it does act for you in a very beneficial way, and that benefit is basically making the most of what Mercury has to offer. So yeah, like I was saying, as far as conceptualizing and ideas go, able to take away really emotion in general, emotion and narrow-minded, you know, overcritical thinking is definitely taken out of the equation when you have Mercury in Aquarius, because you know, again, it's an air sign. It's a very logical planet. It's the planet of logic, of, you know, point A to point B, thoughts and ideas and concepts, and yeah. So anyways, back to what those benefits mean to you. So, great ideas. You truly do have ideas, how to put this? You truly do have intellectual vision. You're able to you're able to do anything, really. With Mercury in Aquarius, you have both the genius of Uranus and the drive of Saturn. And so it's really whatever your genius spurs you onto, what interests you. That's when your Saturn comes in and backs you up. You know, that's when you accomplish basically whatever your mind is telling you what to do. Not telling you what to do. You get it. You accomplish whatever you set out to do. You know, whatever is worth your time and effort and thought. So much to talk about. Where to go from here? So, like I was saying, ideas. Now, talking to and from other people. Aquarius is a fixed sign, so I would be wary of being, not wary, but being aware of the possibility of being too fixed in ideas, in actions, you know, when talking to people and stuff. But in general, Mercury in Aquarius is really great at listening to other people, at being tolerant and hearing what the person means, you know, instead of getting lost in their content of what they're saying, or having some kind of bias or prejudice against them. Bias. Mercury in Aquarius, although we can certainly be biased towards our opinions, and we do have to watch out for that, you know. We have to realize that not everybody, we're not here to jam and shove our ideas down other people's throats. We're here to exhibit our ideas' functionality so that other people are interested and want to learn and understand, you know. I myself, my Mercury's in Aquarius has definitely gotten me sometimes to be too intellectually stubborn, and not interested in anything that really it wasn't astrological. Mercury in Aquarius is also absolutely wonderful and gifted with astrology. Astrology is an Aquarian pursuit, and to have Mercury in Aquarius means not only does that interest you, the ideas of astrology, of psychology, of understanding people, understanding the self, both, at the same time. Um, Not only does that interest you with Mercury in Aquarius, or at least, well, no, it's pretty solid energy for astrology. So I would guess that you would be, but or at least some kind of metaphysical pursuit. But in any case, I don't remember where I was talking, so I guess doesn't matter. So, right, very tolerant. Mercury in Aquarius really is a genius energy, and embrace it, all facets of it. From the intellectual genius to the social genius. Again, Mercury in Aquarius sees that each person is absolutely unique, and they can talk to anyone from any walk of life because they realize that's an individual, I'm an individual, we're equal, we're here together. Shit, man, not only are we equal, but we're in this together. Their survival and my survival, they're linked. So they're my family, they're my brother, my sister. And this energy in general supports all sorts of communication. Again, not just from a capability and a mental capacity. Oh, it's a capability, capacity, same thing. But not only from being able to, but being interested, genuinely interested, and just being a humanitarian. Mercury in Aquarius is absolutely, although dedicated to being an individual, is absolutely focused on the universal as well, and how we all tie together. And in fact, Mercury in Aquarius has a instinctive view of that. We can't help it. It's just how we think. It's what we care about. It's a good application for our energies. At the end of the day, we have all these amazing energies in us, around us, at our fingertips. And we're just trying to use them wisely. We're trying to apply them so that we get the most out of them. We're the happiest and everything. And Mercury in Aquarius, that they need an environment where they're able to communicate freely, to exchange ideas, to have a little fun, to joke around. Mercury in Aquarius is a great shock master, I guess you could say. I'm just always struck by how Mercury in Aquarius, the Uranus influence rate pops up, and all of a sudden they say something that is completely just crazy or something that you're not supposed to say, and they know it. We know it. Mercury in Aquarius, we know how communication gets reactions, and especially from groups of people, like certain people, and again, we're focused on the universal and everyone together, but individualism is absolutely Mercury in Aquarius' call, and original thought and unique thought. And having a like-minded group of people to understand and communicate with, and have an interesting back and forth. Especially not even just group of people, but friends. Aquarius is the friend energy, and again, Mercury in Aquarius is very individualistic. We need our time our own, to do our own thing, to not talk, to just be in our heads and think and muse and whatever. But we also get some of our best times from talking with friends, with people that are interesting to us and friendly, and you can break down barriers and really talk and communicate, get ideas going, circulation going, air circulation. And I think one last thing, for Mercury in Aquarius also, like I was saying, Martin Luther King, perfect example of Mercury in Aquarius dedicating their lives as an individual, but dedicating their lives to the needs and hopes of the many, of everything, of everyone. Again, we're all in this together. And Mercury in Aquarius intuitively understands that, and they can make it better for everyone. Whether through lecturing of ideas, whether through saying what needs to be said, by introducing an amazing genius idea, by researching and helping the world through that. Really, whatever interests you, you need to go find. You need to go follow. Because Mercury in Aquarius is an incredible energy, and the world, the universe needs you to use it for something that really sparks your not even imagination, but your mind, and has you thinking and has you learning all the time. So yeah, astrology is a wonderful pursuit for that. But each person's different. Everyone's gonna have their own thing, or a host of things, But Mercury in Aquarius definitely needs some cause to champion. They need. I mean, you guys really are. We are the mouthpieces for the Aquarian age, because again, it's not just how we think; it's how we speak, how we communicate. And our words really can impact to the universal. So that's exciting. If I think of anything else, I will do another video and connect it. In the meantime, namaste. May the planets guide you well. Peace.